Kia ora everyone. Welcome to ASMR session with my friend Tania. This is a very special session because we are going to do some braids, and I know that many of you like when I'm braiding and also when I'm using combs to go over the braids, and I will be doing it a little bit at the end. So during the first half of the video I'm going to play with Tania's hair and brush it, and then I will create a hairstyle very similar to that, the one that I created for the Game of Thrones series for Ingrid. So those of you who watched that video would recognize this hairstyle. I'm just gathering the hair in the ponytail, but just really holding it. Not going to do anything, but mostly just massaging the head and using different motions to apply tension, to make sure that when I release the tension, we end up with a deeper relaxation. Beautiful hair that I play with, and every time I post a video with Tania, you come up with different names for her hair. The last one that I noticed was Irish Honey, which is so cute, and of course Tania reads all of those comments and she loves it as well. So keep them coming. It is officially winter in New Zealand. June, July and August, those are winter months. And interestingly, the first day of winter was really warm, maybe 17 degrees and very sunny. I went for a run as always, and I was just wearing shorts and a t-shirt. Nice windless weather started this year winter. I know it won't stay like this. It will get colder and we will get snow on the mountains, but I'm just enjoying every day. Every weather has some beauty in it, especially when you live in New Zealand and you don't see some of those landscapes where you don't see all those landscapes where all of the trees are bare without any leaves. In New Zealand, there are obviously some European trees that do lose their leaves, but most native trees are green, and because of the rain that occasionally falls during winter, the vegetation becomes bright green and is looking very optimistic. So that's why I really like New Zealand winter. As for me, autumn and winter were a little bit depressing, but I know that we're all different, so many people like snow in autumn. And now I'm using a tingly long teeth comb to pick the hair, shake it and release it. It's again very relaxing because you're creating a little bit of tension while you're picking up the hair and then you're releasing it. And normally on the release you actually release quite a lot of tension, and it is always more relaxing after those sort of activities. And the relaxation is much deeper. You can feel it as it is light, soft, and it can be described as losing yourself, dissolving. Using that comb, I also trace Tania's back. Get something so pleasant to go over the forearms and arms, shoulders. Just those 4 pointed ends that are tracing on the skin, creating lots of tingles. Well, continue brushing the hair, this time using wooden comb. It's a great ASMR tool because of the sound that it produces. Also, the texture is satisfying and warm. It's like the touch of nature. So relaxing. So now I'm going to start braiding, and first of all I will do the main braid. We'll separate the upper section of the hair. Just going to brush it very well so when I braid it's smooth for me. And this braid is going to consist of 2 types. I really like to combine types of braid together because it creates interesting randomness, I think, and it looks quite natural. So I'm starting with a fishtail braid that has very tight look because every section that is crossing quite small, so you just separate the hair into 2 parts and cross the outside sections. Just bring the outside section towards the opposite side, and one of the longest, I think, types of braid to make, exactly because you are only using tiny bits of hair to create it. You can, of course, cross bigger sections, but I think then the braid will have a different look. And I really like this classic looking fishtail braid, even tighter. So if I was maybe doing it on myself and had the entire time just for myself, I would have picked tinier pieces, but for this ASMR session I think it's good to have a balance of different triggers. I don't want to overwhelm you with just braiding. As I said, this braid is going to consist of 2 types. So now I finished the first type and I'm putting elastic temporarily over it, and the rest of this tail I'm going to braid differently. This time it is a 3-strand braid that is done in reverse, just like so. And of course you see the pattern is different, the texture is different, and I like that these two are going to be combined together, and it will be sophisticated, but of course quite simple, because now you know how to do it. Those little tails I'm securing with a silicone type, because that one is going to stay, but this one in the middle, I'm going to remove it. And here you have the joint that is very interesting. I really like how it looks. And if you remember when I created the Game of Thrones hairstyle, I really wanted to have like a messy kind of look of the fighter, and that's why I thought that the messier it is, the better. But it's actually, it's looking very beautifully. Doesn't have to be a fighter hairstyle, it could be a naughty princess hairstyle. And next I'm going to braid the sides, and also will join them together. I will show you how. So I'm taking this section at the front, we'll be braiding it and then bringing it to the back. We'll do it from both sides. Here I'm just trying to create a neat looking front, so I'm picking up some of the loose here, and those two braids are also going to be reverse braids, and going to go to the back, so I'm braiding it in the direction of how it is going to be in the hairstyle. For a better, more accurate look. And again, just putting a hair elastic over it, and it doesn't really matter which one you put in here, because other one is going to be removed anyway, but it will go to the back just like so. And now I'm just going to do the other one, also making sure that I'm picking up those loose here, baby here, and it looks great from the front as well. I like to play with the hair at the back of the ear and just by the temple. And also just randomly pick up small sections of the hair to create tingles. So I'm going to braid this part in the same way, making this crossover underneath. And while I'm braiding that here, I hope that you are getting more and more relaxed and that you are falling asleep, because this is what I really want for you, to be able to quickly fall asleep, so you had a good night of deep sleep, and then next day you had a really positive and absolutely gorgeous experience with everything you do. So just put two braids together, tie them with elastic, and as you can see that those two rubber bands at the end we don't need anymore, so I'm going to remove those. And of course brushing those ends. And Tania's hair is so silky that it unbraids in no time. So now I hit that joint underneath the main braid, and this is the look that you get. Beautiful, but as you can see, so simple. And just picking up some hair from the front, also brushing it. The small brush that I'm using right now, some of you like quite a lot, and I don't use it too often. But for small sections of hair, it's a perfect choice. I just brushed a little bit on Tania's face, just picking up all those loose hair and bringing it to the back. But of course, this is such a great ASMR tool when you want to be quite precise and do some small adjustments. And going over the braid with it, feeling that relief, the volume of the hair, satisfying texture, and brushing little tail that is left from the main braid. And finally, I'm putting on that braid, a beautiful hairpin. It's a flower with some curves and spirals, and it is touched quite securely to the top with a pin that goes through this metal decoration piece. And for the final touch, I want to use some blended together essential oils to spread them all around Tania's in the ear to help her with her relaxation, but also to help her to come back from her trance and return into the real world. And I'm sure that Tania is going to have a really good sleep tonight as well. Those ASMR sessions are such a great tool for those having problems with falling asleep. So if you can, just allow yourself to drift off gently. It is going to happen at some stage during the ASMR session, and you don't need to be prepared for that. If you fall asleep, that's amazing. those who send me super thanks, and all those who comment on the video. But if you don't do any of this and just watch the videos, I really want to thank you too. And special greetings to all new people, everybody who is here for the first time. You are very welcome into the Fox tribe. Have a lovely